Hello everyone, today I'm here to review for you Something Wild. Now in particular, I've got the Marvel Spider-Man and the Baby Groot, slightly Christmassy Baby Groot sets, and these are the two that I've been playing, but the general thoughts and feelings you can probably apply to the whole line. You can get anywhere from these through to Toy Story characters and plenty in between as well. You can play them as individual boxes, or you can sort of merge them together and have some very quick family weight card game plays. These were provided to me by Funko for the review, but that doesn't change how I feel about them, and I'm going to try and tell you why they might be for you or might not be. Let's work out first of all how the game plays, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Playing with only one of the boxes, you're going to shuffle the power cards and put them in a pile in the middle, turning the top one face up. Shuffle the character cards, which are the just basically numbered and coloured cards that you're going to be playing with mostly. You're going to shuffle those and deal 3 cards to each player. On your turn, you're going to draw a card from the deck and then play one of your cards from your hand, basically to a play space in front of you. You're going to be doing this to create sets of 3 cards. Now, if they are the same colour, you're going to be wanting to make a run. So 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, 5, 6. If they are different colours, they need to be the same number. So maybe I've got 3 8s of different colours, I can trade them in and I get a point. It's going to be basically first to 3 points, but it's not just about points, because you're getting the topmost power card from the deck when you score a set, and when it's your turn, if you have the mover, in this case the Spider-Man or the Baby Groot, if you've got that mover in front of you, you can activate 1 power. You can activate the powers you've previously won, those points, or the one that's on the top of the pile in the middle. How do you get the mover? Well, each of the power cards has a colour. Simply, when you're playing a card into your play area, if it matches the colour, you get the mover. And you can then, on that turn, activate one of the powers. The other way is all of the ones have the mover icon that allow you, when you play a 1, regardless of colour, to claim the mover from either the middle or whoever's got it round the table. Those powers are going to be what tweaks up the game. So let's say you have the mover on your turn and there's a power card in the middle. Let's suggest one of the Spider-Man cards is if there are 3 reds in your play area, you can score them and take the topmost power card. Now if you've got the mover, you can activate that power. So no longer do they need to be in a run. You could have the 2, 3 and 8, but they're all red, so that allows you, because you've got the mover, to score. You trade them in, putting them in the discard pile, and take that power card from the middle. You now, for the rest of the game, if you've got the mover, can do that again, but no one else can, and a new power card is revealed. And that's how you play. It's the first person to get 3 of those power cards at the end of their turn, they win. It's that simple. So on a turn, draw a card, play a card, and hopefully score a set in some way, maybe using 1 power. You want to take the game to the next level? You can merge 2 sets or more. Now this makes it slightly different because it means there's 2 power decks in the middle. You've got, in this case, a Spider-Man power deck and a Baby Groot power deck. You can only activate the powers for those cards of the movie you've got. You could have both movers from playing the cards right, but you can still only activate 1 power. And again, like I say, that power has to be of the movie you've got. So say one of my opponents has the Baby Groot, I've got the Spider-Man card, I can only activate power cards, 1 power card, that's got Spider-Man on it. So it just means there's more powers going on and more mover movements around the table as they're being taken off you. And the nice twist is that when you play a 1, it doesn't matter which deck the character card comes from, it's got the symbol of take a mover. You can do that for either of them. So you could be like, well, you're using that Groot power a lot, I'm going to take Groot off you. And that's how you're going to combine 2 or more of these Something Wild sets. So you've got that basic gameplay with just 1 box, and a slightly step up, 1, maybe 2 additional rules to combine 2 sets that you're going to probably want to do after a game or 2. So first off, let's talk the production quality. Really nice cards that are vibrantly coloured. They've got all different characters. So for instance, all of the number 1s in the Spider-Man set are Spider-Man. All of the 8s are, say, Captain Marvel and stuff like that. So all of those cards, they're really nice, vibrant colours, really like that. You get the cool, small Funko Pop. What's not to like about those? If you're a Funko Pop fan, that's the sort of the standard sort of shape with a big sort of oversized head. Some people don't like that. I think it's absolutely fine. It captures those characters really well. And, well, that's pretty much all you've got in this. You've got cards and you've got the movers. Now, you also have those power cards which are language independent. Now, you can get different languages, and that's because the rules and, more importantly, the explanation of those power cards, what the powers actually do, that's where the language is coming into this. On the cards, the numbers, well, yeah, maybe the names are slightly different in other languages, but there's no actual text on the cards. Now, some of these powers are very obvious. But for instance, the one in the Spider-Man set that I used in the example, 3 red cards allows you to get a power card. That's a really obvious and easy to understand power. Some of them though, where it's like, discard a card from the top of the deck, everyone else apart from you has to discard a card of that number if they've got it. It's a cool power, it twists things up, but yeah, you really need to check the rules when that power card comes out for the first couple of times. Once you've played a couple of games, now we played a couple of the Spider-Man game, for instance. We played with Something Wild Marvel Spider-Man a few times before we introduced and started playing Baby Groot, before we then merged. We found that after we'd played one version of Something Wild, well, the power symbols made a little bit more sense in the second one. We'd kind of seen some of the iconography already, and it just made sense that little bit quicker. But for your first game, just be aware you're going to have to probably check the rules when some of those power cards come out. That's going to be detrimental to some, but also you can play this game so many times so quickly because it's short that you'll quickly, very quickly, learn what those power cards do. The power cards are what's going to make this game a bit more interesting to you, and that only increases when you have more than one box. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It allows you to try the game and then go and get another one of a different character that you also enjoy and smash them together. Why I think it makes it really interesting is, say at 2-player, you're only going to see 5 power cards in a game. Now, that means you can play another game straight away and see another set of 5 brand new power cards. After that, you're going to start getting to see some of them again. But when you've got the 2 different decks, it means that very different powers can come out, and one deck can be almost depleted while the other one has hardly been touched, because for whatever reason, no one's been using that power very often, and when someone's won a power card, they've never chosen to take it. That sort of extra choice of there's 2 different powers I could nab, which one am I having? I really do like that, and I think even the family audience that this game's really aimed at are going to enjoy that as well. Be that just they're taking from the deck of the character they like most, or the one they think was going to sort of help them to victory the most, well, it doesn't always matter. Some power cards do feel very, very powerful, but this is where it sort of works better when there's not just 2 players, when it goes to sort of 3 or the 4. All of a sudden, if one player has got some really good cards, a really good power card. So one we found was, I think it's if you have a 7, you can draw a card from the top of the deck and add it to your play space. That really gives you a bit of luck, a luck of the draw, but a really good chance of maybe getting a set, an extra set in before your opponents. Well, why don't you just try and every time it's possible, play a card that takes the mover off them? Then they've at least got to play a card to gain it back to be able to trigger that power. Because without the mover, they're not being able to use that strong power. So I think that nicely balances, and it's more balanced when there's more players, because it doesn't feel that you've sort of wasted a turn just to take something off your opponent. Because you constantly are trying to play the cards to get your own sets, not always just to screw over the opponent, because there's not too many ways other than taking the mover off them that can disrupt their play. I really enjoy the simplicity of this, and I think that's going to be what families are after, because it is luck based in terms of you take the top card from the deck and it might be the colour or the number that you are looking for. And yes, the powers allow you to do different things, maybe mitigate a bit of that luck, get that extra card, but mostly it's who can draw the right card off the top of the deck. That might sound a bad thing to you, but to some people that's going to mean that a parent and a child have the same chance of winning. It doesn't mean they are wildly at a disadvantage. It levels the playing field. And for some games like this, that amount of luck is exactly what you're looking for. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an understanding of why Something Wild may be for you. If you're wanting that super quick game for 2 to 4 players, that family atmosphere where you're just able to draw cards, play some cards, chat amongst the players at the same time, trigger some cool abilities now and again when you've got the mover. Yeah, I like that part. I think it's good fun when you can do it, when you manage to just get that set played before your opponent and win. That's a lot of fun. And that is Something Wild from Funko Games. Let me know if you've played these or if this review has been helpful. Please let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, please check out other news, reviews and such on the channel. There are probably some links here for you to click. Anyway, have a great day.